Hey, this is Pastor Dave, and this is your Monday Mojo. Hope you had a great weekend. So, most of you know, probably all of you know, maybe not, that I'm a preacher. So, every Sunday I deliver a message, sermon. And several times I'll have people come up to me and say, I don't know how you come up with ideas every single week. So, let me tell you a story about something that happened to me about 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I went to a training for new church start pastors. And one of the kind of breakout events was to go and sign up for different learning experiences. And so I went to one on preaching. And the lady who was teaching it, she started off with a Twyla Paris song, and she did a dance to it, and it was beautiful. I mean, it just, everything about her dance moves fit right with the song, and you just go, wow. And then when she got done, she started talking with us, and she was talking about preaching, and about halfway through, somebody said, "Can I ask a question?" She said, "Yeah." He said, "How do you come up with ideas for a series?" She goes, "Oh, I don't do series." He said, you what?" She said, "I don't do sermon series." He said, "Well, how do you preach?" She said, "I use the lectionary." Now, for those of you who don't know, the lectionary is this book that gives you a passage, 3 or 4 different passages to preach from every single week. You can choose Old Testament, a Psalm, New Testament, a Gospel. And you just choose that every week. And if you do that over the course of 3 years, you'll preach through the entire Bible. But those of us sitting there, even 25 years ago, were thinking, really, you don't come up with series? That's what people want today, a series title and a graphic and everything. And our jaws just about hit the table because we thought, how in the world can you keep it fresh using something as old as the lectionary? And then she looked at us. Now, this lady had more talent in her pinky finger than all of us in that room put together, probably. And she looked at us and she said, "I don't want to waste time trying to come up with a theme or an idea. There's more power in every sentence, every paragraph of the scripture than I could ever tap into to preach." Wow. This book, which is really not a book, it's a bibliography that we call the Bible, that contains stories from throughout time. She said, there's more power in just 1 or 2 sentences than I could ever tap into. And she didn't want to waste her time getting cutesy, I guess, with a series. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't come away from that and go, I'm preaching from the lectionary from now on. I still use a series, but I take very seriously that fact that in the scriptures, there is so much information and so much power for our life and for our living that we really don't have to get overly fancy with it. The scripture, the Bible, John Wesley said, "I'm a man of one book," referring to the Bible. It gives us all that we need to know to live in this life. Anyway, that's one of the ways. So I will always tell people when they say, "I don't know how you come up with stuff," I said, well, I have really, really good material to work with. So that's my thoughts for today. Hope that's helpful for you. Have a great week.